welcome to PC Gamer Radio. I'm your host Lipstickpaddy, and we're looking at Clockwork Revolution. This was the biggest surprise for me, completely surprised, because it gives it. Is it BioShock? What's going on here? Well, we're in 1895. Looks like it's London, and everyone's got Cockney accents, mate. Bloody hell, geezer! Now, this is the biggest shock for me. It's In Exile Entertainment, and a little story here. They went completely bananas, bankrupt almost, and they had to go to Kickstarter to do the Wasteland 2, which ended up to be fantastic. Microsoft picked them up. They did Wasteland 3, but it was largely an isometric classic RPG style game. And for In Exile to jump up to a 3D engine, oh my god! In fact, it's what Obsidian had been doing. They went to classic roleplay and they jumped up to a 3D engine with the Outer Worlds and the Avowed. So, you know, it's like, and not to mention, Obsidian have worked in 3D games in the past with Fallout New Vegas. But in Exile, what have they done in 3D? This is the first soiree into 3D games, and bloody hell, this is knock your socks off. Really? So I do love the characters. They look absolutely fantastic. Let's forward it on a little bit. It's full of charm. I think what people didn't realize is that this is going to be a deep RPG, because In Exile love, you know, they've got a hallmark of that.
We can narrow the suspects down a bit.
Viewer,
Trust your instincts, sir.
tall.
Yes, sir.
Right, so this definitely 100% is the character creator, isn't it? And it's a work of beauty. I mean, the production team here have really fallen in love with this project. Look at how incredible this looks. So now the RPG is completely fresh off the bat though. Look at these available traits here. Street Stalker, Cogitator, Scrap Savvy, Gilded Glint, Steam Whisperer, Grimshot. So this is all absolutely phenomenal. But these traits, it looks like, are only available maybe to the Gearsmith background. I don't know. That's this one up here. So they seem to have quite a lot of backgrounds here, whether you're a musician, it looks like here, maybe an actor. I don't know what these are. Gardener. This guy's obviously the Gearsmith. Traveller. I don't know, he's praying there. I don't know what that would be. So yeah, very interesting backgrounds that we've got on the character control. Let's follow it.
Slim, well, muscular. Very quick, agile.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Built rather slim, well, muscular.
I don't know why it won't let me go back half a millisecond. You need to do it. So we'll just look at this one. Agility. It's not just giving you bonuses, but it's giving you more than what you would expect. I think that's definitely interesting. I don't know if I can stop it.
Yes, sir.
Built rather slim, well, muscular.
There you go, endurance. So yeah, maximum health, but it does reduce duration of negative status effects, which I think this game's going to have quite a lot of, it looks like, in its nature. And yeah, so in the points selector here, it looks like you've got 10 points to spend across the attributes, which is kind of nice. Again, the clock, this whole clockwork here is fantastic.
Was very quick, Agile.
Go on.
Oh.
It's down a
Think, sir. It's very quick.
Yeah, you're too quick. So yeah, RPG, it's all about social speaking, isn't it, in games? So yeah, nice to see we've got that here. And does talk about charisma here, so conversation skill bonus. It's going to be fascinating to jump into this, isn't it?
Agile.
Go on.
With a mustache.
So you can, you know, this is your character creation. I think it looks absolutely phenomenal.
I see.
Quite fashionable.
In fact, all the ones they're showing here, the one they finally choose is like,
That's the feel.
I don't know, when we see him in the game, he's got like a real oily skin.
Interrupt me.
They got my good side this time.
So you're definitely going to have a male and female, you know, character, and you're going to see them all in the cutscenes, whatever you have picked from, and this is going to be very exciting.
Breaking in is the easy part.
Your brandy, sir.
What?
Errol, sounds like I'll get a better deal.
You talk to me first, and him never. Got it?
So yeah, that's a conversation. This is one big part of what In Exile would have done in the world, but it's so much more cinematic, isn't it? We've got the bokeh blurred shoulder of your character, and
Uncle's a bit...
you can see all three in the scene when the camera changes. Absolutely fantastic. This isn't kind of stale standing in front of somebody. This is more cinema here.
touchy, ain't he, Errol?
Touchy? I say I'm touchy.
There.
Anything else you'd care to say to Errol?
And you know, in Exile, they don't actually mind showing you how dark the world is, of course. And especially this kind of world that they're designing here. So you're definitely going to be playing a scoundrel and potentially saving everybody. Normally have two ways to go in, you know, it's not usually cut and dry. So yeah, they're definitely possibly going to be in playthroughs, 2 playthroughs. Crafting looks fairly simple here. You've just got gun parts and metal cylinders. Frames that you might be using, so you're going to be just picking these up in the environment. Does suggest here that this one is going to be electrical. So I think there is going to be quite a lot. Yeah, an electrical frame has to be used for this one. And there's like a ton of science weapons, essentially.
Let's go and end a few arguments.
So must have a fire. You know, you can have elemental weapons essentially in the game is a big thing. Then you've got your time machine. Let's jump forward, and this essentially just lets you manipulate the environment and use it in a gimmicky kind of way to get stuff. I do appreciate the stopping time. You might appreciate the go back in time if you're playing on a higher difficulty and you get jumped when you go in a room or something like that. I appreciate that. It looks like there's 3 different worlds here that they can go back. We've got the lady, the beard guy, and the other lady. So yeah, it looks like there's 3 potential areas then. Now this woman you see on the paper here, she's kind of on the box art, if you like. Lady Ironwood seizes power. We don't even see her in this deep dive here. Other than the newspaper, which is interesting. If I just go back to the newspaper, incidentally, there is something to pull from it. Yeah, so it's priced at 1 pence, so a penny. So you definitely are in England, but it's kind of alternate history. In fact, that newspaper there, what did it say? Alarmed at Avalon's aerial navy lady, Aurora Ironwood, in her new role as Chancellor and head of Avalon's Industrial Council. Alright, so you can pick some lore out from the newspaper here. Now, so questions then, you know, how big is the city? You know, I love the fact that when he explodes, his shoe comes off. The explosion. Or is it his foot? Is his foot come out of his shoe? Yeah, so you can change the past and stuff like this. This is what it's kind of making it a little bit different than your normal FPS. Obviously, you're going to have a great story. You're going to be having stats, stat checks possibly. And the other thing you're going to need is, I mean, what this is just kind of showing the action part of the game, but there's going to be obviously a slower parts of the roleplay. It can't all be fireballs all the time. So there's the lady. You can see some kind of flying bots here flying around. Definitely has a Victorian feel. And the robots themselves seem to have mustaches on, so it is kind of fun, isn't it? But yeah, this is my giant surprise. I really can't wait to play this game. And the only lingering question, is it 2025? Because it was such a deep dive. That it is coming out on Game Pass. But I think the fact that they didn't even suggest it's coming out in 2025 is pushing it to 2026, which is the only disappointment, I guess. Not that we've not got other stuff. But yeah, this was my surprise on my shortlist for Summerfest. And if you're interested to see my full shortlist, then I have done a shorter video. This is one of my longest ones. I've done shorter videos on each of my shortlisted games. So if you go to my channel, you'll see I've got almost 50 games that I picked out from the whole Summerfest, which are fantastic. And hopefully you might find something not as obvious as Clockwork Revolution. And that will get you on a nice journey of discovery. Well, thank you so much for watching. I've been Lipstickpaddy. This is PC Gamer Radio. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, bye-bye.